Carolina Memorial Sanctuary is a conservation burial ground where Conserving Carolina protects the land, and Carolina Memorial Sanctuary provides a very sacred place for people to bury their loved ones.
Green burial means different things in different cemeteries. In a traditional cemetery, they sometimes will have a part of their cemetery set aside for green burial. And what it usually means is that the graves are dug by hand, sometimes not. The graves are 3 feet deep instead of 6. The containers that the person is buried in need to be biodegradable, either a shroud or a cardboard coffin or a wood casket. And the body cannot have been embalmed. At Carolina Memorial Sanctuary, we have imposed stricter guidelines. So we make sure that the graves are dug by hand. We only go 3 feet deep so that the nutrients from our bodies can actually benefit what's planted above. We introduce organic matter into the grave, so that helps with decomposition of the body. And family members are allowed to participate in the lowering of the body and also helping to close the grave. They can do their own ceremony. And we have the added benefit of having a conservation easement laying over the land. So that helps us to protect the land in perpetuity, from the way we take care of it to what we plant here.
Conservation burial grounds really honor the earth and all creatures on the earth as well, because it's providing homes for birds and vegetation and trees that, if it were not used for a burial ground, might one day come under development.
Carolina Memorial Sanctuary is a public park. It's open during daylight hours. There are lots of folks who come around and walk the trails, some folks who don't even have a loved one buried here. We have 11.113 acres here, and it's a long, skinny piece of property, and we're blessed that it has McDowell Creek flowing through it. McDowell Creek flows into the French Broad River, and we have a rare mountain bog, which we've recently received grant money to restore the banks of the creek and the bog. In its history, this land was a dairy farm, and it appeared that the owner had tried to fill in the wetland so that it was more useful. So we were able to, what's it called when you take it out? Dredge. And so we were able to dredge the wetland and restore it, which is wonderful because we've got native birds coming, native plants showing up in the wetlands, so we're really excited about that.
With funding from the North Carolina Land and Water Fund and North Carolina Division of Water Resources, and of course with cooperation from the landowners, Carolina Memorial Sanctuary and Barkwells, Conserving Carolina was able to complete a really cool stream and wetland restoration project. We worked with SM Soil and Water Solutions to stabilize and enhance over 1,100 linear feet of McDowell Creek and one of its tributaries. We also restored an alluvial wetland by removing over 12 inches of fill dirt that was deposited on top. This work greatly improved water quality by preventing sedimentation into McDowell Creek. It also created important wetland habitat, reconnected the floodplain, and removed non-native invasive plants.
The partnership between Carolina Memorial Sanctuary and Conserving Carolina is one of the unique relationships. We're actually on the forefront of combining these two missions and visions to provide sacred places for people to be buried and also respect and save natural landscapes. And so the partnership far exceeds anything either of them can do alone for this particular purpose.